You know, it appears you can't escape trauma. In some way, it impacts everyone's lives, whether directly or indirectly. Trauma is unfair, unapologetic, and unwarranted. And for so many young people, it's the reality.
The DSM defines trauma as exposure to actual or threatened death, serious injury, or sexual violence. The creators of narrative exposure therapy define trauma as the experience and psychological impact of events that are life-threatening or include a danger of injury so severe that the person is horrified, feels helpless, and experiences a psychophysiological harm response during and shortly following the experience.
You all know something, I'm sure, about the human stress response. That's fight, flight, freeze, basically. What is the big deal about fight, flight, freeze is that when you are scared, your entire body is on hyper alert, and your brain. So it is a very, very physical experience. Now, the brain is supposed to function in an integrated way. So we're routinely supposed to be, and you are doing it right now, integrating what your body's doing, your sensations you're experiencing, emotions you're experiencing, and your conscious awareness, bringing into what you're integrating everything you've ever known, heard, learned, all of that. Under conditions of trauma is a loss of integration, the interruption in what is usually the ongoing biographical narrative of your experience. And that's because the brain gets overloaded.
Some things in life we go through, we absolutely need to heal from. They have been hurtful, they might have been damaging, they've been confusing, they've been disorienting, and we need to heal. There are other things, however, that we've been embedded in, sometimes from birth, or they're introduced at certain places or during certain stages of our development, that are actually not bad or wrong. They've been the right thing, they've been a good thing, they've been what we needed, and there's been no protection around that thing. There's been no protection around that mechanism. There's been no protection around that relationship.
Working in the trenches of trauma can feel gloomy and hopeless sometimes, but remember that there is hope. The story isn't over.
I think the word story carries very intricate meaning.
Stories have so many parts to them. Perspectives, how did it conclude? Who won, who lost, and why? How did that shift?
Creating stories is universal, and it suggests that fiction making is an evolved adaptation, that somehow it helped our species survive.
There's something alluring about narratives, stories, something that draws us in, piques our interest, captures our hearts, inspire us, transform us, connect us. Narratives take many shapes and forms. They're told in every culture, and every narrative voice sounds different.
When we think about creativity and how important it is for people to have something that's beautiful in their lives, and sort of like reimagine or imagine a different kind of future for themselves. And I think the arts allow people to do that.
I think artistic performance is that bridge across the black hole of trauma. It's the evolved individual and group response to what is in fact the tragic nature of human existence.
Is something that only recently human beings have been disconnected from, which is that you carry your medicine with you. Your medicine is in your body. And through the repetitive task of transforming an object, whether it's transforming clay, transforming any object, you enter into a meditative state.
You have to help people envision a different future. They can't go there. And that means using imagination because the future hasn't come yet. Writing a different story, enacting a different script, dancing a different dance, painting a different picture, playing a different tune, singing a different song, whatever it takes.
It's important to reflect. It's very important to introspect, in my humble opinion. Okay? Because we gotta confront those things, those people that at one point hurt us.
What I love about helping people tell their narratives is that as long as that person is living and breathing, their story isn't over. They can reinterpret experiences, reframe them, write new chapters, create sequels, adopt new identities, redefine themselves, invite new characters, kick toxic ones out.
The goal is to grow. The goal is to always be adding to and augmenting a variety of skill sets that can make you an advantageous problem solver, a good humanitarian, a good citizen, someone that is contributing to the well-being of both yourself and a collective whole.